Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Now today's topic is Ascomycetes. It is one of the groups of higher fungi, and it is commonly called as sac fungi. It is commonly called as the sac fungi, and it is considered as the largest group in fungi. It is considered as the largest group in fungi, and it includes about 30,000 to 35,000 species. It includes about 30 to 35,000 species. 30 to 35,000 species, and these are mostly multicellular. However, there is a small group included in this Ascomycetes that is called as yeasts. So yeasts are unicellular because of their cell structure, reproduction, and the chemical composition of cell. They are similar to Ascomycetes. There is formation of specialized sexual spores or meiospores called as ascospores. In specialized sac-like structures called as asci. These are sac-like structures, and the singular is ascus. So these are called as Ascomycetes. There is formation of specialized sexual spores or meiospores called as ascospores in sac-like structures called asci. So these have been named as ascospores. Now this ascus means actually the sac, and mycete means the fungus. And these Ascomycetes, their mycelium is septate. Mycelium is septate. It is branched or unbranched. And hyphae are uninucleate or multinucleate. Uninucleate or binucleate. Uninucleate or binucleate, or rarely multinucleate. And adjacent cells are connected by simple pores. Adjacent cells जो हैं, this is septa, this is another septum, this is another septum. They may have a nucleus, and adjacent cells जो हैं, they are connected by simple pores in septa. Simple pores in septa. This is the simple pore in septa. Sometimes these pores are plugged with Voronine bodies. Now these Ascomycetes are mostly saprophytes or decomposers. These are saprophytes or decomposers. And some are parasites and coprophilous. Some are parasites and some are coprophilous. Coprophilous, that means they grow on the cow dung or horse dung. And the asexual reproduction occurs by the formation of non-motile spores. Asexual reproduction in Ascomycetes occurs by the formation of non-motile mitospores, thin-walled mitospores called as conidia. Now conidia may be colored. They provide the color to the hyphae. Conidia provide the color to hyphae, and these hyphae may be green. These may be green. These may be yellow. These may be orange or black. Etc. Orange, black, etc. And they are born on the hyphae, that is called as conidiophore. And there are these segments of the hyphae. These are conidia. इसका सिंगुलर है conidium. And these are born on branched or unbranched hyphae called as conidiophores. Conidiophores may occur scattered or aggregated to form structures. These may occur scattered or aggregated to form the structures like एसरविलस एक को बोलते हैं, एक स्ट्रक्चर है एसरविलस. इन्हीं स्ट्रक्चर्स में ये बनते हैं. साइनीमा और एक है SYNNEMA, साइनीमा एटसेट्रा. ये वो स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं जिनमें ये कोनिडिया बनते हैं. And motile structures are absent in the life cycle. Motile structures are absent in the structure. However, in yeasts, asexual reproduction occurs by budding. जो last time मैंने discuss किया था. In yeasts, asexual reproduction occurs by budding and binary fission or fission. Last time मैंने आपको बताया है ये. And the sexual reproduction takes place through the fusion of the cells. Now the sexual reproduction occurs by the Sexual reproduction occurs by the fusion of cells, somatic cells, or that is gametangial contact. Gametangial contact. Now, the gametangial contact may be between the Anthidium and Ascogonium. Anthidium, that is male, male sexual cells and ascogonium. And ascogonium, it is female sexual organ. And the somatic cells, you know, that is called as spermatogamy. Spermatogamy. Or spermatogamy means there are rounded cells, male cells, they are called as spermatia, and there are female cells, female gametes. These are simply the hyphae. Now in this process there is male spore-like gametes. They are called as spermatia. In this case they are spermatia, male cells like this, and these come in contact with the female hyphae. Female hyphae, simply the hyphae, they act as the female gametes. Now, the sexual reproduction occurs in the three phases, plasmogamy and karyogamy. Now in Ascomycetes, karyogamy is delayed. In Ascomycetes, the karyogamy is delayed, and the intervening period or a transitional phase appears in the life cycle. Called as the Dikaryotic phase or Dikaryotic phase, and the hyphae or cells are called as dikaryotic cells, and the cells are called as dikaryotic cells, जो last time हमने discuss किया था. तो the cells may be each, now dikaryon जो है, each dikaryon fuses by karyogamy that leads to formation of diploid synkaryon. You can say there is a hyphae, there is a cell, and there is a gamete. For example, this is spermatogamy, this is positive and this is negative. When they fuse, they form, this is dikaryon, that is plasmogamy. And when it fuses, there may be another like this, there may be another like this, and when they fuse, they form the dikaryons. These are dikaryons, and this is called as the dikaryotic phase, or the hyphae is binucleate. And then karyogamy leads to the formation of this. Here occurs the karyogamy. It leads to the formation of the synkaryons. These are synkaryons. That is diploid. It is fusion. Fusion means karyogamy, fusion of nuclei. These are, it is followed by the meiosis. Then here occurs the meiosis. In each cell there occurs the meiosis, and it forms the four cells. There is meiosis. Meiosis occurs then there, but this intervening period, this dikaryotic phase and this karyogamy, it is delayed. There is an intervening period. and each syncaryon forms the 4 cells or spores, and then there may be the mitosis to form 8 ascospores. These may form 4 or 8 ascospores. And then these 4 or 8 haploid meiospores or ascospores are produced internally. These are produced internally in a sac-like structure. In a sac-like structure. This is called as ascus, and these haploid spores, 4 or 8, these are called as ascospores. These are called as ascospores. Now after maturation, each spore gets released. When the spore gets released, it germinates into the new hyphae. Each spore gets released and can develop into new mycelium. Now in some cases, a number of asci are found formed by the hyphae, or they are enveloped. Now you can say a number of asci may be found covered by hyphae or wall to form the fruiting bodies, and they are called as ascocarps. Now a number of asci जो हैं, they may have 4 or 8 spores, and these are covered by hyphae or wall. These are hyphae or wall covered by hyphae or wall. This is called as ascocarp or fruiting body. इसी को बोलते हैं fruiting body. That means in ascocarp there are asci, and in asci there are ascospores. Now ascocarps may be rounded or closed, rounded and closed. When these are rounded or closed, that is called as clastothecium. When the ascocarps are like this and these are closed, these are called as clastothecium. Clastothecium is the ascocarp or fruiting body which is closed or rounded, and it occurs in the fungus like Penicillium. And there is another type of fruiting body or ascocarp that is flask shaped like this. This is flask shaped, and it has the asci. These have the asci inside this, and this flask shaped ascocarp is called as perithecium. It occurs in the fungus that is called as claviceps. This is called as, it occurs in the, that is claviceps. And sometimes it may be cup-like. This, the ascocarp or fruiting body is cup-shaped like this. And this cup shape has an opening also, It is called as apothecium. Apothecium, and it is found in the fungus. It is Ascobolus. It is cup-shaped, cup-like ascocarp that is called as apothecium, and it occurs in Ascobolus or Peziza. Peziza is another Ascomycete. Now this flask shaped जो है, it occurs in Claviceps, or it may occur in Neurospora. Now these some ascocarps or fruitifications जो हैं या fruiting bodies जो हैं, they are edible. These may be edible. These edible. There are morels or truffles, commonly called as. Later on मैं बताऊंगा आपको ये morels और truffles ये edible ascocarps हैं usually. And there is the common this fungus Ascomycete, that is Penicillium. Common Penicillium, it is also called as the green mold. Penicillium जो है, Penicillium first one, Penicillium, it is called as, Penicillium is called as the green mold. Penicillium is called as green mold, and it yields an antibiotic that is called as penicillin. It yields an antibiotic that is called as penicillin. And there is Penicillium graciofulvum. Penicillium graciofulvum. Penicillium graciofulvum. It produces an antifungal drug. Antifungal drug that is called as graciofulvin. Graciofulvin उसका नाम है. एक एंटीफंगल ड्रग ये बनाता है, उसको बोलते हैं graciofulvin. And there is another that is called as, another example of Ascomycetes, Neurospora. Neurospora is called as the pink mold. It is commonly called as pink mold. It is used in biochemical and genetic studies. It is used in biochemical and genetic studies. And it is called as Drosophila of plant kingdom. Drosophila of plant kingdom. It is called as, commonly called as Drosophila plant kingdom. That means as the Drosophila is used in the animal kingdom, genetic studies, likewise this Neurospora, a fungus, is used in the biochemical or genetic studies related to plants. Now there is one that is called as Erysiphe. Erysipae. Erysiphe उसको बोलते हैं. This Erysiphe जो है, it causes a disease, it is pathogenic, that is called as powdery mildew. Powdery mildew. It is a disease, very dreadful disease. It causes the powdery mildew. It causes in it wheat and sugarcane, as well as in legumes. Wheat, barley, in legumes and cucurbits and other plants. It causes the powdery mildew. There is another that is called as the cup fungi, commonly Peziza उसको बोलते हैं. Peziza is commonly called as cup fungi. Peziza is commonly called as cup fungi, or it is also called as sponge mushroom. Sponge mushroom हमारे पास और एक है, उसको बोलते हैं morchilla. Morchilla. Morchilla जो है इनको कॉमनली बोलते हैं morels, और हाँ इसको हिंदी में बोलते हैं गुच्छी, और कश्मीरी में कनगिच जिसको बोलते हैं, दैट इज morels और morchilla. इट इज edible. ये morels उसको बोलते हैं कॉमनली. देयर इज ट्रफल्स जो मैंने अभी आपको बताया था, उसमें ट्रफल्स जो हैं उसमें आता है ट्यूबर, TUBER, एक फंगस है. दीज आर कॉमनली कॉल्ड एज ट्रफल्स. स्मॉल बटन लाइक होते हैं, एंड दे आर कॉप्रोफिलस यूजुअली, and they are also edible. Ascomycetes. There is another aspergillus. Aspergillus जो है, it causes the respiratory disease that is called as aspergillosis. It causes the respiratory disease called aspergillosis, and it is commonly called as weed of laboratory. Weed of laboratory, as it vigorously grows in the cultural media. ये cultural media में ज़्यादा grow होता है, इसको बोलते हैं aspergillus या weed of laboratory, commonly इसको बोलते हैं. There is another that is called as the claviceps. Claviceps जो है, it causes the disease that is called as ergot disease, or it causes the ergot of rye and other cereals. ये एक cereal है, ergot of rye and other cereals. And it may cause an infected these cereals, जो cereals फिर लेते हैं, that is for eating or for food. It causes the infected जो cereals and they produce the disease that is called as ergotism. And these may contain mostly the number of alkaloids, and उनमें से एक है that is called as lysergic acid. And it is also used as medicine, that is ergot medicine, to control the migraine and urine infections, etc. And nowadays this lysergic acid is prepared through fermentation activity of this claviceps. और बहुत सारे हैं, इसमें से निकाले जाते हैं alkaloids. They are of different uses. Now lastly we have the yeasts, जो मैंने बताया आपको, last time भी बताया मैंने आपको. yeasts है, yeast जो हैं they are unicellular. These Ascomycetes. There is one common this genus जो है, that is Saccharomyces, और जिसको आप कॉमनली बोलते हैं बेकिंग इंडस्ट्री में यूज़ होता है, ब्रेविंग इंडस्ट्री में यूज़ होता है, ब्रेड बनाने में काम आता है, उसको बोलते हैं ब्रेड मोल्ड. दैट इज कॉमनली कॉल्ड एज ब्रेड मोल्ड, एंड उसका जीनस है एक, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज Saccharomyces yeasts में. सो yeast जो हैं they are unicellular fungi and they belong to the group Ascomycetes.